voice asked me, "Are you afraid?" I said yes. And they said, "Be not afraid, for when you tell your truth, and when you live your truth, there is nothing to fear." Shandellas. Now don't you start with me, you get no part of me, so get as far from me as you can be. Nothing but harmony is where I wanna be, and you're distracting me from destiny. I'm talking to myself when I say fear has no place in my heart. No, no, fear. Fear has no place in my heart. You gotta tell yourself fear has no place in my heart. Tell fear, get on out of here. Fear has no place in my heart. It took some breaking out, it took some breaking down, shattered so many doubts so I can be this woman I've become. From here it's only up. If it ain't peace and love, then set me free. Fear has no place in my heart. No fear, no, no. Fear has no place in my heart. I'm not gonna be afraid. Fear has no place in my heart. No time to run away. Fear has no place in my heart. I'm telling you, fear has no place in my heart. call me impatient, I'm sick of waiting on you to meet me halfway. Is that really so hard to do? And I won't waste my breath, 'cause I don't think I have much left. So call me impatient, I'm sick of waiting on you. I stare at the ceiling, your eyes are glued to the wall. The bed that we sing, kids waiting for someone to talk.
Hey everybody, we're gonna start at 10 after.
It feels like you don't even know me. So who is this person you're holding? I'm so alone and you barely notice it all. Maybe in the morning I'll make the bed and I'll get the coffee going. Take a seat, I can pour it. Say what's on my chest, say what's on my mind. It'll be alright, but maybe not tonight. We just need some time, don't wanna force it. So maybe in the morning. It's cold as ice, I'm scared I'll fall through the cracks. Getting complacent, should we just put this to rest? I'm not gonna waste my breath, so I'll just hold it in instead. Maybe in the morning I'll make the bed and I'll get the coffee going. Take a seat, I can pour it. Say what's on my chest, say what's on my mind. It'll be alright, but maybe not tonight. We just need some time, don't wanna force it. So maybe in the morning.
What's up, everybody? Going to get started here. Welcome to our second seminar. If you guys missed our first seminar, definitely go on our YouTube page. It's on there. It's also on our social media. But yeah, welcome to our second go round. All right, let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about hometown success. What we'd like to do is run through a series of these that starts with how do you get started? From the concept of wanting to be an artist to the concept of getting on stage to actual success to making money to hiring a team. And we want to take you through a series of those steps. So our first seminar, we really just did an introduction to booking, an introduction to us. The second seminar, we're going to start from the beginning. We're going to talk about building in your hometown, proper home market building, hometown success. So a little bit of a case study here. One of our clients, Justin Clancy. Just take a little bit of this if you guys haven't been reading in the background. In 2017, Justin Clancy had the type of year that aspiring artists dream of. The rapper singer from Peabody reaped the benefits of years of hard work and finally broke through with not one, not two, but three popular singles videos that catapulted him to the forefront of the Massachusetts music scene, along with guys like Jordan Lucas, Token, and Cousin Stiz. Let's talk about this a little bit. You know, when you start out as an artist, this is the goal. This is the goal, to take over your hometown. Now, maybe your hometown doesn't have all of the bells and whistles as Peabody or as Boston, Massachusetts, but you want to do the best that you can to be known in your hometown. We're going to go over some of that stuff today. We're going to talk first about the live show. One of the first things I like to think about when I think about the live show is the story. You know, a lot of the bands that I worked with on the management side held this as a very important aspect of how they got on stage, what their stage setup looked like, what you know, what the decorative what the theme was. All of those things were taken into consideration. This picture here I have of Lady Gaga, I think everybody remembers the meat dress. If not, go look it up. Kind of tells the story here. Why should I care about this person? And how does that come across visually? Those are things that you do want to think about in pretty much every genre of music. Taking a little bit further here, starting from the beginning. What does a stage show look like? Are you performing in front of your friends? Have you perfected the living room concert? What kind of feedback are you getting? Are you taking it serious? Is it important to you? Are you rehearsing? You know, and what does rehearsal look like? Are you getting feedback? Do you have dancers? Are you getting feedback on the setup? All of those things. And does it all fit with the story, with the brand, with who you are as an artist? All of those things are important to conceptualize from the beginning and have a full base under you as you move forward. So I always like to include these when I talk about proper home market building, your live show, and just getting started as an artist. Hometown venues. I know we all have our favorite hometown venues. With hometown venues, you want to be respectful of them. You want to know who is performing well at them. All of that stuff goes into consideration. I grew up in Northeast Ohio. So for me, Grog Shop was a hometown venue. That's one of Cleveland, Ohio's local venues. But when you think about hometown venues, you want to think about, okay, what artists are doing well? How can I open up for those artists? How can I support those artists? Start going to those shows. How I got started literally after leaving the artistic side of the music business and working in radio was going to shows in Philadelphia. After I left Ohio, I would just go and watch local bands, get to know the local scene, fell in love with a lot of local bands, a lot of local music, and just really entrenched myself with knowing and understand who the players, who the bookers were, who the movers were, who the shakers were. And that's an important part of just being entrenched in the culture of your local music scene. So know that, and the best place to start is your local music venue. Respect the business. I grew up in Copley Township. That's where this picture comes from. But in terms of hometown venues, respect the business, respect the venue. You know, don't be rude to the venue owners if they're not ready for you yet. You know, if it's a hard time getting booked there, don't email them 100 million times and be disrespectful. Put yourself in their shoes. What would they need from you to have a good introduction to you? You know, a lot of times I get demos or we get demos and it's just an artist saying, hey, I'm an artist, and there's no link. There's not even a bio. It's just an email address that I guess we're supposed to do the research and figure out who you are. So just keep that in mind when you're in your hometown and you're looking at building relationships with local venues, local promoters, and people in the music business. Just respect the business, have respect, treat people the way you would want to be treated, and respect the radius clause, which is part of respecting the business. So, you know, a lot of times I'll hear acts say, I don't understand why we can't play another show. Well, you don't want to burn out the market. And what I mean by that is play another show after you've played a show in the same market. You want to give the market time to breathe and time to respect your last show. And if a venue takes a chance on you, you want to put in a lot of work to promote that show at that particular venue. For instance, if you happen upon your first show at a local venue, put time and effort into promoting and marketing that show and bringing people out. Building in that market is important. Building that small base of fans is important. And so you want to really, you know, throw everything you have at, you know, trying to get people out to that show. And if you're doing 5 shows in a month, it's kind of hard to get people to come out to all 5 of those shows, especially in the same market. You're going to burn your friends out. You're going to burn your family out. So space it out. Respect the radius clause. You don't know what radius clause means, definitely look it up. But the definition of it means basically it's a clause that protects the venue from double shows happening. Show an artist playing another show and not promoting or taking care of the show that they've booked with them. So you might see a radius clause that says 30 miles, 90 days, or 90 miles, 30 days, or whatever that looks like. And it just gives a 90-mile radius around that venue and a 30-day radius, meaning that, please don't perform another show within 90 miles of this venue 30 days before or 30 days after the show, or 60 days before or 60 days after. And that just protects the venue. But artists should also take that into consideration because it really protects your brand. It helps you not burn out the market, and it helps you build in a market, especially in your home market. Teamwork is important, obviously. You want to have teamwork, especially if you're a band. Having everybody pull their own weight in terms of marketing and building in your hometown. Are you telling friends? Are you sharing on social media? Is it just the drummer that's doing everything? I find it to be a thing, but teamwork is important. Building in the market is important. Getting to know the players and figuring out a way that you can scratch the back of somebody else before you ask for something. Be symbiotic within your hometown and within your home local music business scene. Know the deal and prove the deal. One of the things we're going to do in future seminars is go over different offers and different deals and kind of explain what they mean and kind of help artists better understand some of the percentage deals and the NBOR and the GBOR, whatever it looks like, deals that you might get. But the prove the deal is important, especially in your hometown. When you're starting out, it's very rare for your first show for you to get paid for your first show. You had to think of this as a business and as an investment. If you were a venue and a band came up to you that has never played the market before and said, I want $1,000 to play your venue, you're going to say, well, have you ever played in this market before? And then they say, no. Why would you give them $1,000, for instance? You don't have any sort of proof or record that they're even going to bring people out. You could give them $1,000 and one person could show up, and then you're out of $1,000. You just had to staff your whole restaurant, your venue. You had to bring security in for one person, and so you have to understand the business as an artist. Know the deal, prove the deal. So if you want to perform and it's your first time and you don't have numbers in that market or numbers in your home market, take a percentage deal. Show them what you're worth. Say, all right, look, I'll put my money where my mouth is. I know I can bring people out. I believe in my marketing powers. I believe in my friend group. I believe in all the people that believe in us. I'm going to take this percentage deal and I'm going to show you how many people I can draw. And you take the percentage deal, you hustle your butt off, you get a bunch of people out, and you bring 50 people out. That is what we call prove the deal. That's a great first impression for a venue. Now, a month later, or whenever you feel it's right to not burn out your friends and family and do another show, now you have numbers in that market that you can then speak to that venue about and speak to that buyer or promoter about and say, look, last time we were here, we did 50. How about, you pay us $250? I think that makes a lot of sense. And we still get a versus deal where we can earn money on the back if we bring out, 100 people this time. So those are the sorts of things you want to think about as an artist. A lot of artists come out of the box and feel that, I'm just going to be real. They should be paid right off Jump Street. And it's just not the way things work. And you just had COVID happen. Things are still rebounding. It's tough out here. So having that outlook, you're going to run into a lot of brick walls. Moving on. I would just like to see if anybody wants to come off mute and ask any questions. I know I just covered a lot. And so I like to pause between these slides and just see if anybody wants to come off mute. You can raise your hand. I think I can see you that way. Or I think you can unmute yourself. Or I could scroll through videos, see if there's anybody that wants to ask a question. I see Santino. Come on off mute, unless you need me to do that. Let me see.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. What's going on?
How you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. How are you? Good morning. Good afternoon.
Listen. Yeah, my question was honestly, what if you kind of passed that point, the hometown point?
Well, we're going to get to that in future episodes. You're going to have to sit through this knowledge with your advanced brain and soak it all in, even though
No, I don't mean it like that. I mean it like that. I mean it respectfully.
I know. I'm just saying, we're gonna get to that. This is for the beginners. You know, we really want to take it from the beginning to the end. So we'll move on to more advanced stuff as the seminars go along. That's all part of the plan.
Yeah, everything you just mentioned, though, I've been through that, the whole thing from starting out doing free shows to bringing 60 people to those free shows to turn into 100 to 200, and it just kept growing. So,
So do you agree with this stuff? Do you have anything to add?
1,000%. I mean, everything you said is spot on.
Awesome. Anything you want to add with your experience to the group?
You hit all the nails on the head, man.
All right. Anybody else got a question? See if I can zoom through here. Jamal, what's going on? Can you come off mute?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right.
All right. What do you think about open mics? Like as far as, building up your buzz, or even if the hometown venue have a Monday night or Wednesday night open mic, is that a good way to build a relationship with the club as far as to see what you got and see who you can bring and maybe possibly build a great relationship through open mics?
Absolutely. And I'm so glad that you brought that up. That's a really, really a thing that I did leave out. That's a great avenue to showcase your talent. Anytime a building opens its doors and says, hey, you can come in here and showcase your talent, that's the building you want to be. And if they say bring your friends, definitely a building you want to be in. And that's open mic. So, I have a lot of venue owners that say, hey, you should have her try our open mic night. There's a lot of people there, so it's sometimes there's a built-in audience, but sometimes, like you just said, it's an opportunity to showcase what you can do and bring out your crowd. So good point.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you, Jamal. All right, we'll keep it moving then. I don't think I see anybody else. Oh, Black Shaw, what's up? Come off mute.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up?
Black Shaw, for those who don't know. I like what you was talking about. So one thing I want to put in there. I DJ, and I think that the DJ is still the most important aspect of the music industry. Period. I think people forget about us as DJs because I play music all the time. I don't care what it is. If I like it, I'm gonna test it to see how my crowd's gonna react to it. So, never be afraid to introduce yourself and network with as many DJs in your city as you can because at the end of the day, it's really our job to break records, even though a lot of DJs, it seems like that's not what they're doing. You'd be surprised, like even online or whatever, but and don't forget about the DJ, and DJ is still important.
Absolutely, man. Definitely don't forget about DJs. Go ahead.
You gotta walk up and slap them $50 play your song. You know what I mean? It's ways to do it. Like that's always been an approach I always did. Like I'll go to club if I know I got a song that's gonna fit this club and I know it's gonna rock. I'm from Atlanta, so I'm gonna walk up to the DJ. I don't know him. I'm gonna shake him up with $50 or something like that. Money talk, bullshit walk, and see where it go from there. If he play the record, he gonna play it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a good initiative to do something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree. Funny thing is, I'm gonna hit on that in a couple more slides. So you pushing my story ahead. But you're right. You're right on target. I'll even tell you a story about when I was in high school back in '96.
Yeah.
And I was a hip hop artist. I was in this group called Renegade Squad, and this was back before social media. We were recording on cassette tapes and passing tapes out of our trunk, and this was even, I think, before we could burn CDs. But I ended up getting my mom worked at Sam's Club, and she wanted me to work at Sam's Club, so I ended up getting a job at Sam's Club. Lo and behold, one of my coworkers become really good friends with him, and one day we're talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I go to the University of Akron. I DJ there. I'm a radio DJ." And so we just hit it off. I passed him my tape from the group, and I tell you what, from that day forward, our stuff was on University of Akron's radio like weekly. And I tell you what, if it wasn't for him, a lot of people wouldn't have known about us during that time frame. So I tell you what, I owe a lot to the DJ.
Telling you, it's back.
Absolutely. All right, let's keep it moving. Appreciate y'all coming off mute and sharing some information. But going back to the slide here, if I can get my mouse, I told y'all, bear with me. Here we go. Local radio. So marketing, let's talk about this. This is important. It's something we just talked about. Literally, I can't make this seminar go any more perfect. A DJ just came off mute, and now I'm talking about local radio. One of the things that is super important as a beginner artist in a home market is getting to know who the local radio stations. There's usually some sort of radio show that's happening in your market where they're showcasing local musicians or local art or a local business. Get familiar with that. Find out who is responsible, become friends, submit your stuff respectfully, but figure out a way to get involved there, because that's going to help catapult you within your local market. There's a ton of, I wrote down Hometown Heroes here because I used to live in Delaware, and there was a show on WSTW, which is a radio station I used to work for, called Hometown Heroes, and it was ran by a DJ by the name of Mark Rogers. Amazing human and incredible DJ, and he did a lot for the Delaware Valley local music scene in and around Philadelphia and in Delaware, showcasing talent, having talent into the radio station on interviews, helping them get introduced to talent that might be touring through, giving an opportunity for them to showcase their new releases, talk about their new releases, talk about their artwork, perform songs on the radio, create new fans and new friends. And that's why this couldn't have gone any better. Local radio, your local DJ, your local clubs, it's all part of getting to know. Hold on, thought my computer died. Getting to know who the movers and shakers are. Same with local print. You might have a local magazine or a local zine or a local blog that discuss music or local talent. Get to know those people, submit your music, be a part of that, because that's going to help catapult you. And it's going to give you a little bit of a beginner look on what it's like to submit your music to publications and print publications, blogs, magazines, things like that. Social media, internet advertising, super important, obviously. If you think about what it takes to get in front of people today who are constantly scrolling, how are you targeting your hometown? You can target now down to a zip code. So find the zip codes that are important to you and start just marketing to those particular zip codes. It takes money to make money. That's something we're going to go over in future seminars. So understand you need to invest in yourself. And part of that investment is going to be in advertising. It's going to be in marketing. It's going to be in trying to get your music out there to these local people and building those friendships. Sometimes that takes a few dollars. Like my man just said, slide that DJ $50, slide him $100. It takes money to make money. You gotta scratch people's back, and if you don't think that way, you're gonna run into a lot of brick walls. I'm not talking about payola, that exists, but it's about building relationships. It's really about just cultivating relationships within your local scene. School is also important. Think about ways that you can incorporate yourself in your school. Can you perform at school? Can you perform at homecoming? Whatever that looks like. But don't take those situations for granted either. Fan building. I think fan building for me starts with your story as well. You want to have a genuine connection. You want to be a genuine artist. It's hard to build fans when you're fake or when you're putting on a front or when you're acting all the time. So I like to just say, look, be yourself. And if you're yourself, and if you're true, and if you're showcasing what you are as an artist, what you're about as an artist, you're going to have a genuine connection with people out there that are going to feel what you're feeling. And that's when you build those cult relationships. That's when you get those cult followings and that genuine connection. I'm a fan of so-and-so because I really believe in how they approach life or how they approach their music or their fans, how they treat people. That's a genuine connection. Or the organizations that they support, that's genuine connection. All of that stuff is super, super important from the beginning. So I would just say fan building starts with knowing who you are as an artist and understanding who you are as an artist. Second on this list, email list. You have no idea how many times I ask artists, all right, how many emails did you get from that show? And they go, what? And I go, you didn't set up some sort of way to capture emails? I mean, people will leave their email address after a show. And if you don't have an iPad there to just have them easily type it in, or even just a notepad. I managed this band, Revolution, I Love You. And I'll tell you, Rob would go around after each show with a notepad and just connect with everybody in the crowd. Hey, how'd you feel about the show? Let's talk about it. What brought you out here? And just build a genuine connection and then get their email. If you're able to work the room like that, great. But if you're at the very least, just have something there to capture the people that were at the show so that you can thank them for coming out. And then obviously send them new stuff and remind them that you'll be back to the market later on. Again, obviously social media falls in line with that. And merchandise is important too. I think merchandise again goes back to that genuine knowing who you are, knowing your theme as an artist, having everything all tie in with the merchandise. Artists like Nerdy, who we work with, I think he does a really good job at building a genuine connection with this fan base through his ideals and what he stands for. And I think if you have that sort of aura about you, it comes across in your merchandise and how you connect with fans. And the last thing I say here is just keep it simple. Don't overthink it. And I think that just, again, goes back to being genuine and being who you are and understanding who you are. And I think all of this will help you build a fan base, and it will help you cultivate new fans when you hit new markets and when you get new rooms. And I have these pictures up here because I think it's important to know the big guys and understand what the difference is between playing a club show in your hometown and playing a festival show in your hometown, or a soft ticket event versus a hard ticket event. This is important because I do feel like there are artists out there that will send us demos or just say, hey, you should maybe it's a connection. They'll say, hey, you should check out this artist. They've done this, and this, and all of everything that they've listed is all soft ticket stuff. Maybe they've played a sponsorship event where it was with a particular sponsor and they put on a show, but it wasn't a show for the artist. It was more the artist being a part of that event, so to speak. Or maybe it was a big conference in town or a big festival in town. All of those are great looks. Don't get me wrong. They are definitely great at building fans and helping the brand, and also getting the stage show out there, getting the artist more known. But the difference between a soft and hard ticket is because those shows are hard for us agents to look at it and say, okay, well, how many people did you bring? How was your draw at that particular event? How could we use this as leverage to help you build in your home market, or to help you get bigger shows in your home market, or to help you expand into other markets? And so you just want to be aware of having a good mix of both hard and soft ticket shows. It's great to play those local festivals and open up for those bigger artists that are coming through town. It's great to play events that are sponsored by your local whoever. But you also want to make sure that you're spending time and playing at your local venues and putting hard ticket numbers in the market as well. And that's what we talk about here when you're talking about a festival versus a club play. You know, when I ask, hey, you know, what's the draw like in your home market? And you can legitimately tell me, well, I headline there and I bring out this many people. That's really the answer that I'm looking for, because that's what's going to help me as an agent help further your career on your hard ticket side. But if the answer is I played so-and-so festival where so-and-so headliners were there, I'm going to say that's great exposure. But tell me more about what you've done on the hard ticket side. What is it like when you headline? How many people are you genuinely bringing out versus, you know, all the accolades that you have of opening or playing some big local festival? So I know that's a lot. And so I did want to stop here again and just see if anybody had any questions or anything to add. So I see my man with his hand up already, Santino. Come on out. Let's talk about it.
All right, so you literally just described the point, like everything I've done locally, like the festivals, the you know, opening for people coming into town and all that stuff. That's how I kind of made a name for myself here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I am trying to push past that point. I've also I did a show myself too last summer. I don't know if I sent you the numbers or not. I think I did.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of back at a point where I'm gonna throw another one in, but I want this one to be bigger than the last one though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always kind of like cautious of what I do and the shows that I get on. And actually, I'm opening, me and another artist who I'm really good friends with are opening for Glorilla April 8th in Dayton, Ohio at the Dayton Convention Center. But that's another one of those shows, like you mentioned, it's just kind of an exposure thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So you understand the difference between, you know, the headlining, the hard ticket shows and the soft ticket shows, but the value of both, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Got it. All right. Just want to make sure I'm on track here. So you know, tell me if something's off too. So I'd appreciate that. But seems like you guys are backing me up, which I also appreciate. And you know, definitely keep us posted on what you got going on down there in Cincinnati. Sounds like you're doing some great things. What's going on? Anybody else? All right, we'll keep it moving then. Future seminars. It's going to be really about dissecting a deal. It's going to be about proper home, proper regional building. So like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to take this from building in your hometown, starting out as a band, what that looks like, and then breaking out of your home market, going into the regional aspect. How do I take what I've done, the success that I've built in my hometown, and then expand it? And I think that's, you know, probably Santino, more along the lines of what you want to talk about as well. So definitely come back and stay tuned to what we have to offer there. Dissecting a deal is also going to be another one where, again, like I mentioned earlier, we'll probably pull up some generic offers, kind of go through some terminology, and just point out some of the things that we look for in deals, and what we feel are good deals versus bad deals, deals that you should take as a beginner artist, deals that you should start to decline as you start to grow, things like that. So we just encourage all of you to keep checking back and tuning in for future seminars. In terms of what we have for this seminar, I was hoping that you guys had a little bit more questions, but that's literally all the material that I have. I hope that it soaked in and helped and brought some knowledge, especially for some of the beginners that may in the group, or maybe it helped validate some of the things that you guys already knew. But the important aspect of all of this really is to just open the discussion and talk about it, and bounce ideas off of each other so that we can all learn and grow and build, because I think the independent music community is where it all begins. And you want to talk about the future of the music industry, it all starts on a local level. It starts in the hometown. And so the more we can help artists build and have confidence, I think the more and better music we're going to have in the future. So anyway, that's my speech. That's all I got. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, and stay tuned. We'll have more stuff coming your way with future seminars. Peace, y'all.
I told my baby I'll be back when I'm better. I've been gone trying to shoot my devils down. Heaven knows that in hell I'm a wanted man. Wrong side of the tracks, the wrong part of town. They said nothing's free, so what you got for me? What you got for me? I said nothing at all. They told me sell your soul. Sell your soul, come sell your soul. I ain't never read a page out the Bible. All my people only pray to that whiskey glass. Every day another game of survival. Dead on arrival, it's the same old song and dance. There ain't no such thing as an innocent soul, oh no. You can't run from the devil when the devil won't leave you alone. Heard him call my name, but I won't lose my way. I guess I'm DOA. I'll hit it like that, I told my mom and dad I'm sorry, I'm a problem. She tried her hardest, but I'm still my daddy's son. Cause heaven knows I got the sins from my father. Hell froze over when I learned how to talk and run. So shut me up or shoot me down. They built the boat, but they watched me drown. I paid the cost just to save my life. Cause every barrel's got a bullet with a name inside. There ain't no such thing as an innocent soul, oh no. You can't run from the devil when the devil won't leave you alone. Heard him call my name, but I won't lose my way. I guess I'm DOA. No one's holy, no one's saved. Born in sin, we all in flames. Cross my heart and say my grace. Lord, forgive my yesterdays. In God we trust till we scrape our plates. In God we trust just to save our face. In God we trust to escape our fate. But the hangman doesn't discriminate. He said, yeah, ain't no such thing as an innocent soul. You can't run from the devil when the devil won't leave you alone. Ain't no such thing as an innocent soul. You can't run from the devil, can't run from the devil. And he called my name, but I won't lose my way. I guess I'm DOA.